I'm going to come at you with a learning lesson of mine, a recent learning lesson, and it's the importance of simplicity. So, complexity and simplicity are opposing things. A simple routine is something that's not very complex. It's hard to explain otherwise. Simple doesn't mean easy to do, though. Like, something can be very simple, but not easy. And that's kind of what I mean by simple here. So, throughout this video, when I say simple, I don't mean easy, I just mean uncomplicated. Doesn't require too much thought. Okay, so keep that in mind. And then I'm going to give you an example. So, in engineering, when you build something, so like rockets, you want to keep it as simple as possible because complexity, a complex mechanism, has more room for failure. Because it's more complex, more things are going on, more things can go wrong. A simple mechanism, simple anything, less things can go wrong in it. See? If it's simple, it's just one moving part. Yes, that one moving part can fail, but if there's 50, it's 1/50th of the time to fail. So that's a key point. That's something in engineering. But we can take that over to life. So when you do something, a complex thing is more easy to fail. So I'll give you an example. After I had started working out for a while, I had a fairly complex routine. It wasn't like super complex, like I wasn't doing anything that like Chris Bumstead would do in his normal routine, but it was complex as a beginner. And what that led to is when something else came up, I only have like a limit of things. If you have like 100 points, my workout routine took up 50. That's too much it should take up. At least for me in that time. Because something else came up that took up 60. And you can either go, I need to change, I need to adapt, and you can get better maybe, and maybe your brain can adapt, and a little bit of stress will bring you up to 110 capacity. But then you're running at capacity. But what happened for me is I didn't develop or go up. My tank stayed the same. But what I did, workout routine, got moved out. And then for 3 weeks, I didn't work out because the tank would have been full otherwise. And what that led to was I stopped working out. So the complexity of my workout routine made it easier for me to fail. Whereas if I had a simple workout routine where I would have been like, okay, my priorities are shifting right now. I need to dial back on my workout routine, possibly make less progress, or maybe maintain progress or make less, like don't make as much as quick. I need to dial it back. My priorities are shifting. This is what needs to be focused on right now, and I can take it back up. So I dropped the complexity down to a 20, and now I still have 20 spare, a buffer. And that's what you need to do. So you can alternate complexity and simplicity. And sometimes complexity mightn't be the best thing. You might realize, actually, this workout routine that takes 45 minutes is actually better than an hour and 30. I've made just as much progress because I'm skipping less workouts. And you might go, okay, this simple routine is better for me. So you keep it up. And in a lot of cases, you might find the simple routine is better than the complex routine. The simple, hard, difficult routine. That's what you want. So that's in like the intermediate stages. Now, in the beginner stages, how do you start something? Well, first week, you can do anything. You have enough willpower to do the most complex routine. You could do any routine in the world for a week. 2 weeks, you probably can't. So keeping it a nice and simple routine after 2 weeks is what you want. Because then you can build the habit of doing it. And then if you so desire, the complexity can go up. But you might want that. So in the beginning, when I started working out, I did 30, or no, not 30, 100 push-ups. This wasn't a 100 push-up challenge. It was just like, I want to get fitter. What's going to make me fitter? Push-ups. I did 10 sets of 10 push-ups. And then I was like, I want to be able to do a pull-up. I didn't research how to get better at pull-ups. I just said, if I try to do a pull-up every day, eventually I'll be able to get it done. So a month later, I was able to do a pull-up. It was a simple way for me to start working out. And once I had that simplicity down, it kind of built the habit. And that's when I made the mistake of getting too complex too early, which broke down later. So that's beginner stages and intermediate stages. And I'm going to say about long-term stages. Now you might say, like, maybe my experience on long-term isn't quite good. But the simpler the routine, the easier it is to maintain long term. Because for a lot of this, for fitness, for relationships, for business, they're infinite games. There's no finish line. You don't get to a point and win. You keep doing it. You don't win marriage, you stay married, stay happily married. You don't win at fitness, you don't get in shape and then put the weight back on. You stay in shape. You don't win at business, you don't make it to a big IPO but then lose everything at the casino. You know? So it's a long-term game, which means you have to keep doing it. So every day you have to be successful. So that means every day you achieve your most important task. Like Alex Hormozi's routine is early in the morning, don't take meetings before 12, most important tasks, work on the business then. That would be maybe an oversimplification of it, but I'd say you could get almost 90% of the results with that. Because it's a simple routine. Like if you work hard for those few hours, you'll get a lot done. And it doesn't need to be complicated. You don't need to work 24/7 doing that. You just need to do most important tasks for as long as, like, it's not how you're going to do it. It's not, oh, I have to do this lighting, this coffee, this amount of caffeine, this. You can do those things, but it's not how you're doing it. It's if you're doing it and how long you do it for. So that's the long-term success. Like I talked about fitness. If you've ever heard Chris Bumstead talk about his routine, now maybe coming up to competition it's a bit different, but that's what I'm promoting that. Like when complexity is needed, give it. But don't take it all the time for the sake of doing it. Like if it doesn't need to be complex, don't make it complex. Keep it simple, stupid. It's a whole acronym for it. So CBUM, he talks about his routine. I was listening to a podcast with Chris Williamson, and he was saying, what his morning routine was. It's like 30 minutes of cardio in the morning, a sauna and an ice tub, 4 meals a day, 9 hours of sleep, workout in the evening. That's a simple routine. Me and you can do that. And the reason why CBUM is in like great shape is, well, he's disciplined on it because he's consistent. He does it all the time. And you can do it all the time when it's kind of not easy to do, but doesn't take too much brain power to do. And that'll transition into another point. You only have so much brain power in the day. You have a tank of brain power up here. And if you're wasting that power on complex routines, you won't be able to do other stuff. Like Alex Hormozi will tell you about, he doesn't cook because it's added complexity. And maybe me and you go, well, we can't do that. But what we can do, what I do, is I try and remove as much complexity so that I'm working on the 90% that I can change with 10% effort and not the 10% that takes 90% of my effort. You know? And that's another thing. It's what you can do. Focus on what you can do, not what you can't do. That's nothing to do with complexity, but that's just a good premise to follow. So what we've gone over is simplicity in the beginning. Don't overcomplicate it if it's not needed to be overcomplicated. Complications, easier to fail. Long-term success is simplicity. Focus on the things you can change. And those are 5 like keys that you could implement right now. Right now, you could go and do that. And if you do simple things, you can do it over the long term. Warren Buffett is the best investor. And he's not the best investor because when he was 13, he did 14 hours a day and he had the most complex, most advanced routine. He's a great investor because he's been doing it for 80 years. So it's the long-term thinking that gets you to where you want to be. It gets you the ability to achieve those things that you want. And we're talking about progress here for simplicity. Simplicity might make you more successful with more progress, or maybe maintain progress, but it might make you happier. You know those people who go off and they throw away all their stuff and they do minimalist and they're happier? What is that? It's simplifying their life. When you simplify your life, you can be happier. So simplifying your daily routines, simplifying your journey to success might make your journey to success more successful and more enjoyable, which is a pretty nice thing to do. Like, if we can be more successful and enjoy it more on the way, I don't really know of anything else that would be that good, you know? Like, any business, anything else, all these things, but making a journey more enjoyable and more successful. That's what our goal for learning is. The reason you take up business maybe is so you can be more successful, and success will bring you more happiness. Now, a simple business, like a hard business run, but simple, that's going to increase that. It's like a stacking, a compounding effect. So that's some of the key takeaways. So, simple life, happy. Simple business, easy to run, simple routines. When complexity is needed, it's okay to add it, but don't base your routines on complexity because they're more easy to fail. This is my takeaways. This is what I've been learning recently. This is what's helped me. I've made the most progress recently because I've had a workout routine that's maybe not the best, but it's 5 days with compound movements and it's gave me the best progress. I'm going to make the most progress in my business, not because I have the best business model or anything, just because I'm directionally correct and I go, well, this is the right way to go. This is a simple way to achieve that, and that's what I'm doing. Hopefully this video is valuable to you. If it is, watch more stuff. If it isn't, watch other stuff. Right. Keep working hard.